also didn't understand why they called it Soul Plane. I did like the touch of him calling it NWA.
Yeah,
like that made me giggle, especially because it had to do with his name and not the rap group. But I was like, what? Why is this called Soul Plane, the movie? That didn't make sense to me. Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dell.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
All right, so today we watched Soul Plane.
Yes, we did. So, as always, IMDb. Things get raucously funny aboard the maiden flight of a black-owned airline, thanks to some last-minute passenger additions.
Is that what happened? Were there last-minute additions to the plane?
Well, the last-minute additions were the White family, but I
okay.
also have a problem with raucously funny.
Yeah, that's a bold statement. That was a bold statement, too. All types of bold statements in this one.
I know. Okay. I was like, there are a lot of things that aren't quite adding up to what I experienced, but okay.
Yeah. But okay.
And this is a Kevin Hart movie.
Yeah, was this like one of his earlier ones? Is this like this isn't like his film debut, is it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him in this one in 2004. I thought like that felt like kind of before his time, but I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I partially don't know what Kevin Hart's time is.
I don't either.
If that makes sense, I'm like, I don't know.
Like, there was definitely that period where he was in everything, you know? That period where he was in everything in, like, 2015, 2016 or whatever.
Oh,
but this is, like, significantly before that.
I think around Think Like a Man, I think that's his, like, peak. We saw him in, like, every movie, whether it was, like, a cameo or he starred. Like, everyone wanted Kevin Hart in their movie, I think, then. But I don't know. Whoever this director is, Jesse Terreo, this was his directorial debut, so...
Okay.
I don't think this was Kevin Hart's debut, though. This came out around the same time as Shrek 2? What?
Okay.
Let me get off this Wikipedia. I'm learning too many things.
Yeah. But alright. As usual, starting off with things we liked about this one.
Yes.
I guess, did you want to kick it off, or...?
I could kick it off. I will say, off the bat, don't have many. One of the first things was there were a couple of funny quips on this movie. Not as many as raucously funny would have you believe.
Yeah.
But one of them was when after the wife met the magazine model, or when Kevin Hart was commenting on the husband about how since the wife met him, you're not gonna that made me chuckle. Snoop Dogg's pilot admitting that he was afraid of heights. That sequence was pretty funny, but yeah. Those were, like, the first things I have.
Yeah, I had, like, kind of a similar thing. I just thought, like, there were some, like, funny ideas in this one.
Yes.
So I love Snoop Dogg's character. Just Snoop Dogg kind of just being himself, pretending to be a pilot was a lot of fun for me. The other couple things I had, I thought just the idea of, like, a black plane was kind of funny. And then especially when they, like, first introduced it and kind of had, like, you're in first class, and then you get to, like, lower class, and they're like, it's like a locker room almost. So,
no, it looked like a subway station or like a bus.
Yeah.
Because there were
like
also people standing and like holding like you would on a train.
Yeah.
So there were a couple of funny sight gags in that way.
Yeah, no, there definitely were. Then the last thing, I did like the little boy in the White family. He didn't do too much, but I thought he was kind of cute and funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. Like, I just thought like it wasn't raucously funny. It wasn't like at all. Like there were definitely like some good ideas and like good ideas and like good moments. Yeah, but just overall like it wasn't like crazy funny.
Yeah. The last two things I have in the positive, I guess I didn't have to split mine up, but last two things I have was the almost fight between Terry Crews and the dad. Just when the dad's like, I'm here for my daughter. Terry Crews asks, I hope the girl's worth it. And he's like, it's for my daughter. And then he's like, I have a daughter. So that amused me as well. Yeah. And then Sofia Vergara. I think I just like Sofia Vergara. And she's made it very clear in her early Hollywood career. She definitely played into the fiery Latina stereotype. And I thought it was funny. her few scenes. She didn't do too much. Even the part where she says she knows how to fly the plane, or like she learned about a plane, but after having sex in the cockpit.
Yeah.
That was
very silly. Very silly. The last character I'll bring up is the two TSA agents. Monique, and I don't know who the other one was, but I thought they were just good for a laugh at every time they were on screen.
Yes.
Okay, I guess did you have any other scenes you wanted to highlight or anything?
No.
Okay. I guess we can get into negatives now. I'll start. I guess overall this really just didn't need to be a movie. It felt like SNL or Key and Peele sketch that just got stretched out way past the point it needed to.
Yeah.
So that kind of just felt like my main gripe. Again, when the movie first started, I was like, oh, this is a very interesting concept. But then I almost got tired of it after a certain, or not tired of it, but just too. It almost felt like we were kind of getting the same kinds of jokes over and over again. It felt like a skit, you know? Yeah, no, definitely running out of steam. It just felt like a skit that just got stretched out very, 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 very far past how long it should have. this should have been a 5 to 8 minute YouTube video sketch, but instead we have a 90-minute movie. You know,
it very much did feel like it kind of just the concept of a black plane is a sketch. So to extend it this long, it without having a story behind it was just it got a little painful at times. I was like, how are we still on this plane? It was almost like being real time on a flight. My goodness. Especially because this almost seemed like a parody movie to me, but what it didn't have that parody movies have is 1, jokes, and 2, parody movies tend to have one through line of a movie that they're following the entire time, while all the little subplots are other movies that they're following. I'm thinking of Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2, I think we watched on this channel. That's a parody movie. Same with Don't Be a Menace in South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. That's another one where there's a through line that you're following, but that's one main movie, but then the others are just, the other side plots are just bits of other movies, so it didn't have a plot, which is what made it really hard to watch.
Yeah.
It just didn't fulfill the requirements of a movie. There was no plot. It was just a bunch of things happening, a bunch of caricatures of people that were there, basically.
Yeah, and that was kind of my next point. Even the things that I think they were trying to pass off as plot just felt so forced and just out of the way. It just felt like such a distraction. The two things I had written down that I think were plot.
Kevin Hart and what's her face?
Yeah, I didn't even know who she was when she walked on the plane, and they were he had this moment where he stared at her, and I'm like, who is that? Did I miss something? And then I realized I didn't miss anything, and this is just some random girl, essentially.
Yeah.
Then we slowly get pieces, but they feel so clunkily thrown in there. And then the other plot aspect I thought was super just kind of dumb and forced was Snoop Dogg's character just dying in the cockpit. It was so unnecessary and just.
Well, you thought he died. He didn't actually die.
Oh, he came back at the end. Maybe I cut the movie off. I don't know what happened, but I just thought it was kind of just a waste of time. I was like, all right, we've been chilling on this plane with nothing happening. Just let's just land the plane, let the movie end. We don't need this extra conflict or anything. This movie has been pretty much nothing but just skit type jokes the whole way. Why are we trying to force some type of conflict and action in this one? So just the plot elements felt bad.
Especially if you wanted to, because the other, I guess, plot of the movie was the daughter was turning 18, so she wouldn't have to be under her dad's watchful eye anymore. I don't quite know. But that fell flat too, because they could have leaned even more into the fact that they were the fish out of water in this situation, but they only kind of referenced it a little bit in the beginning when they're at the terminal and they're looking around and only seeing black people. So that was a no-go as well. It could have even been a fun, almost a raunchy comedy thing of the daughter trying to get laid and the dad trying to stop her at every turn, but that wasn't it either.
Yeah.
It was just wild. Since mine is also basically the plot was not there, the other thing that I had was spatially the plane was a hot mess. And that made it very hard to watch too. Because the thing about having a plane be the central part of your movie is that you're automatically confined to this really tight space, and it makes it easier for tensions to rise because there's literally no escape. I feel as though the very fabric of the plane changed all the time, especially with Kevin Hart's cousin or whoever that was constantly having his new business endeavors, like having a full-on club in the plane. Then there was he changed business class around to be a gambling place. Just the bathrooms were too big in the plane.
Bathrooms were massive, the
bathrooms were like a legitimate bathroom. And I understood he wanted to, like, make it luxurious because he had such a bad experience in a bathroom in the beginning. But, like, it just made the plane not feel like a plane. Which, if you're having an airplane movie, you kind of... There are certain things that you just know a plane is, and it just was not that.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't. And like, that's why, like, again, like, the idea of, like, the black plane kind of got, like, stale towards the middle. Because you were, like, kind of just almost like just at the club with like a bus station nearby with like also some weird first class. Like I didn't even realize there was an upstairs in the plane till like maybe the 75-minute mark of the movie. So like I definitely agree that like the arrangement of the plane and like it's just very, very hard to follow and hard to like feel yourself in there in the plane. You know?
That's what it was. You couldn't feel as though you were in there because you didn't know where you were. And one of the things I dislike the most in movies is when I don't know where I am. Like, when I can't understand the layout of a house, or, in this case, a plane. Like, I legitimately never knew where I was, or how to get from one place to the other. It should almost feel like, you should definitely feel lived in the world. Like, when you think of TV shows and stuff like that. If you drop me into the office, I would be able to maneuver around the entire Dunder Mifflin area. But, like, this plane, I wouldn't know it just felt like separate set pieces, basically, that just did not make a full plane.
Yeah. And, like, that's also how the movie itself felt. It felt like a few separate skit ideas set in this world of the black plane, but, like, nothing was cohesive. Nothing felt kind of put together in this one. I don't think I had anything else too specific. I thought the jokes got like super cringy at times, like especially with like the homophobia, like those, a lot of that. It was just
stereotype jokes, basically. Even when they had the guy who was maybe Osama bin Laden, like what was that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the gag reveal that Snoop Dogg learned to fly from the Taliban, so it's like I guess he's destined to crash. I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I guess. Is this ratings or final question? Which do we do first again?
We do ratings.
Okay. Ratings. Does you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, I'll kick this off. My rating's actually going down. I originally had it at 1, but I'm just gonna put it at half a star. Just the parts that I enjoyed weren't enough to make me want to see this again, or honestly, after watching it, it was very hard to remember anything that happened just because it was so broad and not specific. Just, it felt like, again, it was just a sketch, a very forgettable sketch that went on for too long.
Yeah, I give this one a 1 star. I think, I love the premise of this one. I wanted to like it so much more. But, again, I think had this just been, a 5-minute sketch, I would have absolutely loved this. I would have thought it was hilarious. The jokes would have stayed fresh. But, as a movie, it just felt like, it was, such a drag to get through, you know? And,
yeah.
Yeah, it was, just the jokes were, super cringy for, 90% of it. Again, there were, a few, funny ideas that were in there, but... Again, they were just all stretched out for so long that it by the time the movie was over, I was like, okay, this needed to end, you know? So, not my favorite one. I wanted to apologize to you for picking this one. I knew that as soon as it started, and there was a toilet joke within the first 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, great. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be a long one.
That's exactly how I felt in the beginning too. I was like, we're starting off with a long toilet joke. Oh no. Yeah. It honestly brought me back to
Death at a Funeral.
It brought me back. That's what I was gonna say. It brought me back to Death at a Funeral. And I was like, why are you picking these movies for me?
Yeah, I did. I thought it would be so much better. I thought it'd be so different. I had no idea what to expect. This was
I thought it'd be different too.
not what I wanted from this one. Final question: do you wish you saw this one sooner or ever? Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty easy no for me too.
It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, that's a no on this one. But, that was Soul Plane. So
yes.
Yeah. YouTube housekeeping, like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications. If you have any movie suggestions for us, you can leave them in the comments down below. We do movies on Tuesdays and Fridays. All of our socials will be linked in the description box down below, and we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye! This was a rough one.
It was. It really was. Yeah. And I didn't realize it was starring Kevin Hart, because I'm not even like a huge Kevin Hart person. But
I thought that's why you picked it.
No. I don't like him that much. Like, not in movies at least. I like his stand-up, but in movies, like, again, he like always has that like over-the-top energy. He was actually okay in this one, I thought. I actually didn't mind him in this one. He wasn't in it that much,
so that might be
why. That's probably why. Because, like, the scenes he was in was that, like, poop scene in the beginning, which, like, then all the scenes with him and the girl, like, But, yeah, he wasn't, like, too over the top.
The scenes with him and the girl were, like, painful, because I was like, what is even happening? Like, this isn't the same movie. What are we doing?
No, like, totally different energy from the rest of the movie, too. Like, again, the rest of the movie was literally just jokes, or, like, attempted jokes. Then it like gets like
he was
this
doing
weird
this
serious
weird earnest thing. I was like, what is happening? What is this movie? Yeah. This movie didn't know what it was doing. It did not.
It didn't.